Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video, a new update on XRP. And we actually have some massive news to talk about. All right, yesterday, I'm not certain at what time the news came, but yesterday, I think it was post-market in the US, right? So it was in the evening. We got some Ripple SEC news, some bad news, all right, and that has also caused XRP to break down. If you watch my previous videos, the most important level I always talked about was 2.41. We've broken down below that after the news, which I thought it would hold, but I would say, that the news changes the situation, or at least technically it looks like it does, right? So we'll talk about that. But first of all, if you're interested in XRP updates, both on news but also on the technicals, I try to combine them. Consider subscribing, all right? It helps the algorithm, I've heard, which is always great because then more people are reached by these videos. And well, personally, I think these videos are very valuable, but that's obviously, I'm very biased on that. But yeah, hopefully that, so yeah, consider subscribing. But for now, let's get right into it. So like I said, 2.41, for those of you who don't know, is a very important level since it is the POC, right? It's the point of control. And it has been the point of control for quite some time of this entire area and of this entire range between 2.8 and $2. All right. So therefore, it is by far the most important level within the range. Obviously, the outer edges of the range are important as well, but not as important as the POC. So that was also the main level we were looking at on Monday. And I said, if we break above that, great news, we can rally up higher. We did so, we rallied up higher. But what I said yesterday is also like, all right, well, now we need to hold the POC if we still want to get into not only the value area high right here at 2.61, but in range highs at 2.75 and 2.8. And what we've done so far after the news, which we'll get to in a moment, is we've broke down below that, all right? So therefore, I also have to shift my thoughts, my bias, and my analysis to be a little bit more bearish, all right? And I do think we have a chance to still reclaim that. But for now, I'm going to be more bearish on XRP with Bitcoin pulling back here as well, which I wouldn't be too worried about that. This huge red candle is with very low volume, and it's also in line with the structure, right? So there's nothing to worry about, I'd say. But that's not helping XRP, right? But the news we got is that Judge Torres, the main judge going over or presiding over the SEC Ripple case, revoked or dismissed the agreement between Ripple and the SEC to reduce the penalty to $50 million instead of $125 million. All right. Now the main thing that happened, or at least the reason why Judge Torres dismissed the motion was that she deemed the motion to be procedurally improper, stating that it should have been filed under Rule 60, which applies to requests to vacate a final judgment and requires the demonstration of exceptional circumstances. And that's also where I think the good news comes in. And I do think, look, this is it's deemed improper based on the procedures. All right, it should have been filed under a different rule. I think the SEC and Ripple are going to be able to file for exceptional circumstances. I think given all the things going on right now regarding the legal stance towards crypto in the US, I think they'll be able to do that, right? So, but that is pure speculation by me because I am in no shape or form a lawyer. I wanted to study law, did not do it, all right? So that doesn't count. But I would say we have a good chance to do this, all right? So short term, as long as we don't have more information on that, I have to say that the news is bearish, right? Because 125 million instead of $50 million is much more, and Ripple can pay it, but it's still bearish. And that in combination with this breakdown below 2.41, which has held for a couple of hours now, it makes me say that it is most likely, which is also in line with the markets, by the way, that we will drop down into our next main support level right here. First of all, into 2.34, where we have a little bit of support, but then ultimately into 2.3, 2.26, the area down there. And from there, I do expect support. But then we're in the bottom half of the range where you don't want to be. All right, and the only way I think we can reclaim 2.41, which would be the best opportunity to long XRP, in my opinion, by the way, is either if we get some good news, right? So that Ripple comes forward and says, all right, we'll be able to do this through a different way, through Rule 60, or the SEC to do that would even be better. or if we get some very strong markets. But like I said, Bitcoin has just reached the top of the range and is likely to drop down to the bottom of the range. So that's unlikely to happen as well, and therefore I would say short term this is most likely. But I will keep you updated on this. I will be back with a middle of the day market update later today. So I'll see you there. But for now, have a great day. Take care and bye.